Hello, Jay.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Welcome back from the weekend.
Yeah. So I hope your weekend was great.
Yeah, it was not bad. Hope yours too was okay.
Sorry?
It
Oh,
was
mine
not
was
bad.
okay. Mine was okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So today we're going to have a 1 hour session. So up to in the next
Okay.
1 hour. Yeah. So or maybe you're going to do 2 sessions. One 40 minutes. We take a break. Then we do another 40 minutes. Depending on the content that I had planned today. So I'm going to do product introduction. Today we are going to cover, last week we did IP camera, and we did NVR. So we covered IVSS, NVR, AVS.
Yes.
So today we're going to cover the camera bit of it. So the analog cameras, although I should have started with the analog cameras, but this is what we're going to cover today.
Okay.
So we're going to do analog cameras, the products that we have as a company. Yeah. So I think that's basically the order of the day. So you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can view it.
Yeah. So when we talk about HDCVI products, we just basically meaning analog products. So including the DVR and the camera. So also the same way we did a naming rule for IP camera, we did naming rule for NVR. So the same way we're going to do naming rule for analog cameras. We're going to check about their categories and comparison between different products, depending on the situation of application. So the same way we had entry, light, pro, with Sense series, with Mint 5 and with Mint 7 and special series in IP cameras. The same way we're going to have these different categories in analog cameras, including the Pro series, Light series, and the Copper series, which is the common series of HDCVI. And also active deterrents. We covered the active deterrents cameras. Remember when we were talking about full color cameras, the cameras that have speakers and perimeter protection. So the naming rule for analog cameras is quite different compared to IP. But just starting from this part of here, if you see HDC, it means the camera is analog camera. If you see IPC, it's an IP camera. Or, yes. So in terms of the value H here means high definition. So the camera type. So you can see we have a IoT, a bullet, a box, eyeball, etc. So position. So here for this case, we're going to do just three. So entry, professional, high end. Then the resolution, generation. So it's more of the same information from the IP camera. It's not that hard for this side. So if you see 9 full color, Z motorized lens. So you can see E means it's a metal bullet dome. We have plastic ones. The other is written TQ, quick to install, etc. The P representing the video format, and the Z means a motorized varifocal lens. So for the Pro series, include the high-end series. So for the Pro series, we have cameras. Generally, their characteristics are supportive and up to resolution of 4K. So remember when you're talking about what is the HDCVI technology, which is a technology developed by Dahua to enable transmission even up to 4K using coaxial cable. So you can see the Pro series support even up to 4K. They have WDR and 3D&R. We talked about this. Clarity. So it's more of good images from this side. So for the Pro series, the 2802 series support even up to 4K at 15 frames per second. We'll have 26 series, 6 megapixels at 20 frames per second. So as you go, even up to the full color series 2 megapixels. So you can see the difference between the 4K and 1080. That is the 2 megapixels. So at night you would see how the 4K would look like during the day and how the 4K would look like during the night. Let's see, it's quite a good image. 4K Starlight. So these 28 series cameras. So we talked about Starlight, which enables to utilize the environment light to create good images or a good setup for your surveillance. So they have a low light performance in color, prevents a good color. So from the Pro 4K Starlight, so basically what we're doing, we're trying to talk about this, the Starlight here, the function here for 4K Starlight. So we have when the 5 megapixel Starlight. So we have this 4K high resolution, then the 5 megapixel. So you can see the color is quite good. Comparing it to a 4 megapixel non-Starlight camera, so you'd see the color this one is not that good. So the new H2501 series Starlight HDCV camera is quite clear. So the series includes 2.5. So you see 5 here is 5 megapixels. The 4K here means 28802. 250,501. And from the naming rule, you can check 500,501 generation. So here is just in terms of generation. Maybe we talk about another product that is a 1080p Starlight. So 1080p Starlight 1080p means 2 megapixels, so 2 here between the 2 and the 4. So it's the 2 and the 4. So from the 4 you can see the generation is the 4th generation. So meaning the better the generation. So 4 generation Starlight HDCVI camera. So the previous Starlight situations were much noisy environment. Well, this one is a improvement. So I think the highlight here basically means that in HDCV technology, the usage of, or maybe the Starlight technology has been applied more and being used to the fullest to IP when we are talking less of Starlight technology there. So we also have a 4K full color camera, meaning you can see both color at day and night, full color, and it's a 4K. At the same time, HDCVI technology. 1080 2 megapixels full color camera. So the way you see black and white at night, well, this one you can see color at day. So basically, yeah, meaning technology full color, just better to understand the full color, how it works and how various cameras can achieve that. So you can see even 2 megapixels. So you can see even whether to suggest this product to a client or not. So the Pro series, we talk the main features of this Pro series. We talk about the 120 decibels to WDR. So WDR, when we talk about, you remember what WDR technology is? So utilizing the light at the front and the back to create a good image. So you can see the backlight here is higher. And you can see if you have WDR on, good image. 3D noise reduction. So you can see with the 3DNR not only enhances the image quality, but also helps save the storage space efficiently. So you can see without 3DNR or with 3DNR, although they look quite the same image, because they cannot difference, but there's a slight difference, very slight difference. The advantage is that it helps storage. Yeah, they're very slight difference. You need to be keen to be able to notice. So in noise reduction. So maybe you have other functions of the Pro Series cameras. Quality of audio. So you can see transmission of audio over coaxial cable. And you can add a pickup to the camera. So 4-in-1 switchable. So you can check which even type of output to release from your camera. That is the video output. So you can have HDCV, you can have analog HD. So like different kinds of output to fit your scenario. For the case, maybe if we're going to do CVI, you can do 5 megapixels at 20 frames per second, or 4 megapixels at 25. So the same applies to analog HD. Well, if you do CVBS, you can do a lower quality. So it's just more of which interface or which video signal are you going to get from this camera? That is the switchable output. So voltage alarm. These are just some of the basic information that is required from the camera. You can see you can even check whether the camera is receiving high power, and which may result to the damaging of the camera. So application scenarios for Pro Series includes, you can apply this HDCVI in airport scenarios. You can do in train stations, you can do in traffic, and even stadiums. Considering their support even up to 4K using HDCVI technology. And the product to recommend is XVR. So you might check this XVR is an analog product, but however, this XVR is a very powerful device, like a very powerful even compared to even some of the NVR series like Series 4 and Series 5. So if you see XVR, we'll come and check, later and check the XVR products, that is the HDCVI recorders, and get to know the difference. So this XVR, as much as it's an analog product, is a very powerful device. We'll come and later check about it. So you can do parking lot, a casino, etc. So some of the comparison of the specifications, you can, I think something that you can check, later check on yourself. So from the Pro series, we go to the Lite series. So the Lite series are, in terms of performance, design, installation, just talk about a few features maybe. So we have a Lite series even that support 4K. That is the cameras with 1. So Pro series with the 2, Lite series with the 1 series. So you can do 4K at 15 frames per second. So you can see an example of a 4K real-time HDCV camera, well, the one that is not 4K at lower frames per second. So 4K, so you can see better images with the HDCV camera, and also in terms of cost is quite good. So the advantage of this HDCV using XVR is that you can upgrade the system, and you can also get use IPA cameras into these products. So Lite 5 megapixels. So we have, so remember it's about Starlight. So it's just a repetition, but same functionality, however, different implementation in terms of the camera. So you can see our HDCVI Lite products compared to our competitor. although they look almost the same, but ours presents that colorful aspect of the image. So you might experience this non-colorful images with the UniView products. So another thing we talk about is the OSD. So this one will cover when doing training on the installation and configuration. So OSD is more of, you can configure the camera from the XVR side. It's on screen display. That is, you're getting settings of the camera from the NVR side. And the advantages is that you can have multiple languages, including French, etc. And also you can get image adjusting, and do private masking. So this is, you remember, I think we talked about private masking. If not, we are going to talk about it later, where you can hide some parts of the image so that you cannot see it, like critical parts of an image. If you're going to do surveillance in the backend side of a supermarket that you don't want people to see the money, you can hide that money from the surveillance side. So application is street, parking lot, etc. So the Cooper series, these are the common cameras that we sell even here locally. So they offer 2 megapixels and even 1 megapixels. So in terms of cost, it's very cheap. So comparison for a Cooper series 2 megapixels compared to the previous 1 megapixel solution. So you can see if you have a 2 megapixels cameras with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cameras, 1 recorder, 1 terabyte, the price will be less compared to the same amount of cameras, 1 terabyte with a 1 megapixel series. So it's like cheaper, it provides a cheaper solution for the same. So that's the Cooper series. And the Cooper series, their naming rule comes with this name, like B1, B1, B2, D1, T1, T2, etc. So the series include a 5.1, a 4.1, a 2.1 series. That's the Cooper series for the fixed lens. So if maybe you're going to do installation for a customer, these are very good products, 2 megapixels product, and at the same time, very cheap. For manual varifocal, that is, you need to adjust the manual varifocal in the Cooper series. So you can see the VF here. So varifocal. If you have motorized, you can see the same naming with a Z. So if you see a Z, it's a motorized lens, but this one is a varifocal lens. Varifocal meaning you need to adjust the lens manually, VF. So active deterrent series. So active deterrent series means the cameras that support full color scenarios, can do perimeter protection, and supports audio, or you can talk. It has a speaker and you can talk back. So perimeter protection identify users for intrusion, and it can do active warning of intruders with blue and red light sirens, and you can receive real-time alarm into your phones. So you can see that it flashes like that. Face information. So I think these are just some of the information from active deterrent series, where you can even get the face metadata. We talked about face metadata, what it entails. So basically just have a few mention about the products. So you can still do face metadata with analog systems. So you can check the series later by yourself. Also, we have analog panoramic series. So we talked about what panoramic is maybe you can just check the product models. So you can see this HDW 22ME2. Even you have double lenses cameras, so you can have one lens facing the other direction. Instead of having two installation of a camera in a corridor, you can only have one camera that has two lenses, and you can change the direction. So we talked about the panoramic. Maybe you can later check on the products by yourself. So maybe about the POC series. So in terms of, so as we're just basically doing going to the lower series of cameras and the cheaper versions. Transmission distance of up to 400 meters. Yeah. For stability. So this information maybe you can check later by yourself. It's something that you need to check by maybe understand by yourself which products are these, how do they function, etc. Okay, maybe we talk about this micro-sized lens. So the small lenses, maybe you can installation for ATMs. So you're going to have even analog products installation in ATMs. These are the small models that we have. So either installation in a bus, you're going to do the rear door, the back side. Okay, so it's just about the pinhole or the small products. So maybe quickly we can go through HDCV from HDCV recorder. So the NVR version of analog side. So in full high definition composite video interface, HDCVI was developed by Dahua, so it's ours. So you can do transmission of long. If maybe you ask what is the HDCVI technology, you can say it's a Dahua technology that is used that enables us to transmit video over long distances and high resolution at the same time. So the naming rule for our recorders are as follows. So we have XVR. So DHI is the brand. XVR means is the DVR. So before we were talking about, so a while ago when you are doing a very analog cameras, we were using the DVR, but now we are using XVR.
XVR, okay.
Yes. So for the XVR,
So
sorry.
You said that this XVR it works for both
IP
analog and
cameras.
Oh, okay.
So we have XVR series like 4, 5, 7, and 8. So you can see an 8 series XVR is a very high end XVR, and we also have XVR that support even up to 8 hard disks and 32 channel. So in terms of casing, you can have XVR that can suit your rack. So you have to identify your rack, what size it is, so that you can know which case to use. And resolution up to 4K. Functions like B, including battery, it has battery. X supports H265 generation or AI. So you get to know about the functions of different models. So entry XVR, including 4, 5, Lite 5 series, Pro 7 series, Ultra 8 series. And there is another copper series. You remember when we talked about copper series cameras? So there's the copper series XVR. So for the AI series, that is the 8 series. So we have WizMint and WizSense. So you have AI series, that is XVR5, but it's an AI series. So you can see -I, that is the AI series with a 4K output. So for maybe an example of XVR8 series with a 4K and 4KL, maybe 7 frames per second at 4K, 4K lower or 4KL. Has the functions like face recognition. So you see, you can achieve face recognition with an XVR. You can do perimeter protection and face metadata. Supports even up to RAID, doing RAID configuration. We talked about RAID, and you can do 64 channels IP camera, each up to 12 megapixels. So you see, it's a very high-end camera, high-end recorder. So apart from maybe you're doing 16 channels, you can have 64 more IP cameras. So with Sense AI series, that's the 5 series. So functions, AI coding. So you can do SMD plus. You can do face recognition, but 2 channels, and you can do perimeter protection. 7 series XVR. So what happens if you want to do face recognition with an XVR? You can do that by having a face detection camera, either an IP camera or an analog camera. So the pictures will be sent to the XVR, it will do the modeling and then do recognition. And then the output will be produced from the XVR. And the accuracy is up to 98%. And some of the common modes include a VIP, blacklist, access control application. So you can have access control with XVR side. In terms of monitoring, you have the DMSS from the phone and DSS server. Typical applications include counters, ATMs, and interest cases. And the recommended products include the Pro series cameras, that is the camera side, and 2 megapixels and a full color series AI camera. So you can see basically how we can achieve face recognition and the products that are recommended for optimum performance. So you can see the cameras here at the bottom and the recorder side. So I talk about perimeter protection. Is there need for me to repeat on the same? So I don't think so.
No.
We talk about perimeter, including
Number of bullets.
Yeah, we'll come and check later about what the tripwire and intrusion, how to configure this information. So perimeter protection products. So you can do intrusion. Some of the recommended products for the same. You can use a 5 megapixels, 2 megapixels. Okay, so basically go with, so these are just some of the functions, like information that maybe you can later check by yourself. So in case if you want to need a solution on a maybe perimeter protection, you can get to know which products to go with, because the products recommended here are just like the optimum side, and like they have been tested and confirmed that is okay with doing such. So face metadata supported by the XVR include knowing the gender, expression, the age, glasses, and for other information like mustache and the mask, whether a person is wearing mask or not. Maybe comparison between the different products. So the highest series you can see here from the XVR side is XVR 8. And you can do only 6 channels face recognition devices. Like the camera side which can do face recognition camera, can only support 6 cameras, maximum of 6. While others can do 2 and 1. Okay, there's the general series XVR. So the non-AI ones. 7 series 4K output. So the general series include H Pro, H265 Lite, and the Copper series and POC series. So the 7 series support functions like SMD, powerful performance, redundant battery, point of sale, Internet of Things, quality audio. So like the basic functions to do just surveillance. The Copper series, so the same way the Copper camera starts with the information like B, A. So the Copper series will identify them by having this 1A, 1B, 1R series. So okay. Okay. Okay, so I don't think there's much information in the HDCVI side. So maybe we talk about Internet of Things application. So typical scenario, such as villas, apartment shops, office, warehouse, etc. Can you give me a minute? I'll be back. Okay, we can resume on the IoT application. So basically, IoT is more of how can you interchange devices to achieve that surveillance security into one. So you can see from this case, you can have wireless connection devices with this XVR series with the alarm systems, basically integrating everything into one alarm system, surveillance, and doing monitoring into your system. So you can enjoy benefits of surveillance alarm systems based on the existing analog infrastructure at a very cost and timely alert, etc. So you understand the concept of IoT. So So basically, it's so basically that's all the information regarding the HDCV products. And from so I think we'll just do an end on the same, because unless maybe there's something that you didn't get.
No, I was following.
You're following.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything else regarding the product training. Can just do a check on the checklist that is required. So regarding this, the certification and the requirements that need to be covered, we have done the IP and HDVI system product training. So next, we're going to do product installation and configuration, but not in this training.
Okay.
Yes. So maybe from tomorrow, we're going to cover the
Installation and configuration.
Yes. So next, we're going to do the configuration. So we'll begin the configuration from scratch.
Right.
How can you achieve the basic functionalities, etc.
Okay.
Yes. So if there's nothing else, we can call it a day. We have to end today's early because there's some pending work I need to complete.
All right. It's okay. Thank you for the session.
Okay. Have a nice day.
All right. A nice day too.
Thank you.